We're going to make some better shit go viral. I'm going to read you guys some of my writings. The first one's called In Betweener. And I'm going to start posting these. I want to see these go viral. I want to see y'all start supporting men to stand up and speak their hearts and their minds and show their hearts, what they really feel every day, what they really go through every day. I will not stand here and watch another friend of mine lose their battle to depression. What's up? What's up? For those of y'all that don't see these here on my live, I am going to post each and every one of these to both accounts, the John Dang Batman and John Dang Backup account or Throttle T. So you will have a chance to hear them again and go back through and listen to them. I'm not going to start a support group for my community. My community doesn't reach enough people. I'm going to start just speaking up publicly in general. Because I'm not scared. Hey, shut your door. All right, so we're going to start with this writing here. It's called In Betweener. I wrote this one. Let's see if there's a date on it. There's not a date on it. About 3 years ago, I wrote this one. I feel alone in the world today. There's a lack of moral and empathy for people who feel. I don't think I really belong anywhere. I'm hell on wheels and I'm a kind heart. I'll go out and raise hell to escape this passion. The pain I've lived boils inside of me, but I seek no vengeance. I'd rather be at home to soak up the harmony of time spent with the ones I love, but yet it feels so incomplete without the presence of a better half. The most important lessons in life I've learned were taught seemingly in the most unlogical and unexpected ways, a far cry from what most would call the right way. Toxicity is nothing more than a damaged soul, and healthy is nothing more than discomfort. The taste of that Marlboro nicotine and first cup of coffee is my enjoyment and peace of mind, yet it's unhealthy. Happiness is the opinion of others, and health is the judgment. Value is the flash of a mainstream camera, and morale is nothing more than the attention of others. I've lived both sides, from wealthy to poor, from clean to dirty, from understanding to closed-minded, from fighting to loving, and from happy to depressed. I see a neutral line where everyone is just the same, but the weight of chains pulling from so many different directions leaves us walking down a dark hallway with no end or exit in sight. Where is the understanding of this world? What is the meaning of this life I live? Am I a diamond in the rough that keeps going, doing the best I can, sacrificing my feel-good just to see the smile of others, or am I a walking dead, of past generation that no longer has purpose to the current blindness. Is that prideful or pathetic? I want to believe that being different is the best thing anyone can be. Being unique from a world of blank faces and doing my best to shed light on an all too familiar darkness of another. What destroys me is nothing to someone else. What destroys someone else is nothing to me. Where do the lines cross? We are all content in that center. Completely different, yet so much the same. There's a happy in every sad and a sad in every happy. The darkest times are a lesson in beauty if you allow them to be, and the best times are a burden if you choose to see it. The darkest times open a pathway to empathy of others, and the best times open an opportunity for regret of time better spent. Yet we all look right past it. I'm an in-betweener. My life isn't over yet. I will fulfill this journey to the fullest. That one's called In-Betweener. Now we're going to go on to read one I wrote called Real Man Challenge. And this is exactly what the hell I've been talking about this morning. What does it mean to be a man? Today's world seems to have a lot of confusion on that topic. So many people are misled and face an almost unbearable amount of pressure under this cover of perception and judgment from society and the world we live in today. People are afraid to be who they are and afraid to embrace the strength, power, and beauty of a greater emotion, a greater meaning and value than what we act upon due to the toxic pressure of society. As a father raising two boys, I have a difficult time understanding this, though there was a time I fell into the trap and became something artificial that manifested into an egotistical discomfort and played it as pride and macho. It did nothing but pull me away from the things that truly counted the most. Happiness, true love, success, peace, comfort, and morale, among many other things. I know I'm not the only one. I watch my kids grow in the innocent stages they're at and can't help but feel a panic and sorrow in my gut for them, being unsure of the things they'll experience and run into in the life of their generation. One thing I've noticed is they're full of love, the most pure kind, untainted with bias and hate. That's a beautiful thing. When I look at these things in my own life, both past and current, I start to see where the problem lies. The problem is that everyone sees being a man as someone tough, macho, big, strong, but what does that really mean? What good does it really do? What values and meaning and feeling is that? Pride? Maybe. A guilty pride that our conscience is alive for, and you're alone living that as you close out that room for the true beauty and the things that count the most. I've been shot, stabbed, beat down, broken bones, and bar fights. That doesn't make me tough. How can you claim to be tough when you can't face your own heart? As men, aren't we supposed to lead and be the foundation of our families and communities and to protect, to guide, and set an example? How are we doing that thinking man is just this egotistical macho? How can we be strong when the emotion inside our personal lives eats us away, staying trapped? Being a man means having heart, being considerate and thoughtful and knowing when to be empathetic, especially to the ones we love and even more so to the women we make our partner and most importantly, our children. It means being affirmative and humble, courageous and putting what feels good aside to do the right thing. It means taking responsibility for our mistakes and facing them and wearing them like a t-shirt. It means having honor and being true to your word. It means sacrifice of the materialistics and meaningless to smile knowing your family is sleeping safe tonight and that you have all you'll really ever need right there. Tell me what being macho and tough means when your family suffers from lack of attention in the areas of what only having true heart can bring to the table. To all the people out there that had it misunderstood, raise your boys with these values and understandings before the real man ceases to exist in a world we need them the most. I challenge you to raise real men. This one is called Differently Different, and it's long. I'm different. I want to believe that it's the best thing you can be, but it feels so burdensome at times. It's hard to explain and get someone to grasp what it feels like to truly feel everything so deep that it literally either rips you to pieces inside or builds you and makes you feel so iron strong. It's overbearing to many. They see it as overkill and sappy or exaggerated, but in my reality, it's not. It's just highly valued, knowing it's pure and comes straight from the heart. I've got more to give than anyone I know. Maybe it's because I've never felt my heart truly being valued, and I've been the only one to voice it, to stand alone through the hardest times, or maybe it's just because that's what I am. Either way, it's so misunderstood and underappreciated, especially by the ones who can't think on a more complex level or be in touch with the deeper parts of themselves. Life is meaningful to me. I've seen so many damning things that all I want to do is fill it with the things that are pure and truly mean the most, because I've seen how quick this life can just be over. And there are no do-overs. Time is the most priceless thing in life. You can't get it back, and a split second can take away every minute, year, or decade away, to never be discovered and to never fulfill the journeys one had set before them. It can take away the last I love you. It can take away the last hug or kiss from someone you cherished. With having all of this inside of me, it creates a discomfort of lonesome and makes you feel like it means nothing, even to the people around you that you care for so much. We all want to be understood. We all want to feel like someone cares and feels you, and it's painful to be so unsure if anyone ever has. It's a hunger that may never be full. It causes you to search for an escape, whether it be a love, substance, or activity. It creates a miserable and terrifying fear death will come before someone sees the true greatness, and in that dying alone, even if someone is right there at such a damning time. It sometimes causes you to say and do things you normally wouldn't, as nervousness and worry of being judged and beat down and walked away from so many times for so long only makes the darkness darker and the loneliness more lonesome. I've wondered why no one has ever asked themselves what would they feel like. I've wondered why no one wanted me, why it didn't strike a curiosity to try to understand and think to themselves, maybe it's real and there's so much light inside the darkness of him. Has no one ever looked at me and said to themselves that they want to bring the best in me out, understanding that something like this can't be brought out by myself? I'm drawn to damaged people, as I know what it's like to beg for someone to not give up on me, because there's a treasure inside the cold hard ground of my chest and mind. I know what it's like to crave someone seeing the deeper parts of me being as pure as they are. It's God-given. It's powerful, passionate, and it's real. Some think I'm crazy because they've never seen it in someone before, and especially in today's world, no one values the meaning of true heart and true love. No one values pure intention, and if they do, the wrongdoings from people in the past make them not believe anyone is truly that real and honest. I do. I see that everyone is different, yet so much the same. That's what makes me different and not the same. It's such a beautiful thing that I wish I didn't have to feel it, because it's so cold when you need the warmth of a hug or comfort from someone to not want to throw it away as if I'm disposable. I'm one of a kind. I'm sure there's others that relate in this giant world, but I don't know yet that I've ever met one. I've never had someone show me that I'm worth not giving up on when things become hard hard to understand or feel uneasy. I've longed for that since I was a kid. I've always said, if you want to see how the world is supposed to be, look at the heart of a child. It's innocent. It's pure, and all it wants is love and comfort, because a child cannot create that for themselves. I feel I can't either. I love myself, but understand how damaged I am, because my heart never grew as cold as the beatings I've taken, and still have that child's heart attached to a complex adult mind. I've got scars all over me the same way people have their scars, in a different way that takes their innocence and understanding, as mine did not. I'm like the beast from Beauty and the Beast. only I've grown from the beast to a handsome man that looks like nothing more. How do you explain that you can be so much of one thing, ugly, annoying, rough, overbearing on the outside, yet attractive to just the eye, but just as much so misunderstood because of that? When the inside is so real and pure, is there a true place for the best of me in this world? Or is it just a real life fairy tale no one will ever see different than just that fairy tale? I've yet to find the answer to this in life, but I pray every day that someone finds me and wants to see the reality and beauty of different than different. I've learned to be humble and honest with myself and detach myself from the surrounding world to be in touch with me, because the surrounding world doesn't define me or much less understand. This is my life, and it's just as beautiful as it is dark, cold, and terrifying. I wish I wasn't so differently different sometimes, but I realize if I wasn't, I'd be nothing more than just different. How dull and miserable that must be. At least my different difference is exciting, bright, pure, and miserable. I appreciate my God-given different difference. This one is called Old Rocking Chair. Every morning I used to wake up and sit in my rocking chair. And one morning I was sitting there and I had this thought and I wrote it down. This old rocking chair has become my favorite place. Every morning I wake up and sit in that wooden comfort with my cup of coffee and soak up my Marlboro stimulation. At nighttime, I kill all the lights, and rocking has its own harmony with the only sounds other than pure silence being the crickets and bullfrogs singing their song. The stars clear my mind, distracting it from anything burdensome, and I float off into the depths of thought and pure peace in a perfect comfort. It seems the more sitting in that old chair I do, the more I realize how much life is just like it. That chair took a lot of time to make. A lot of people are only going to see that someone handmade this chair, and it must have taken a few days, shaping the wood and sanding the surface smooth, staining it and assembling it to what it is. The problem is they don't see that it took years to grow the tree. In life, we see where we want to be, and we're in such a rush to get there. And we ponder on the stresses of life and forget about why we're doing it to begin with, and it ends in a constant cycle of racing thoughts. To build comfort, we keep trying to do more, faster. Sometimes slowing down in the making and taking time to plan, prepare, and process will move us forward faster than doing more ever will. That rocking chair wasn't rushed. Nothing that comfortable and smooth was made from impatience and force. When I'm old, I want to be like that rocking chair, built out of hard work, time, and desire to have a smooth comfort and maybe sit with someone to appreciate the lessons learned and wisdom earned from that old rocking chair. I've got love writings in here and everything. This one is called Natural Heroin. Have you ever felt the mutual connection between you and another soul? The kind that's so passionate and happy the world could literally end around you, and there's nothing that can take you off of that high. I feel as if I'm flying with 2 feet planted firm, like a natural shot of heroin that feeds your heart and soul, healing it with every dose. There's a downfall to such a beautiful experience. When it stops or when uncertainty takes place, you become a fiend for that drug. Lovesick, if you will, is an understatement. Anxiety takes place and you feel like the world has already crashed around you and the high is gone. The sounds of your soul crying are like the demons screaming from the depths of hell, ringing your ears, collapsing your lungs, and dragging you kicking and screaming to their darkness. All you can do, like an outer body experience, is watch yourself crave and ache, going to extents you've never gone before to save it and feed that craving, taking your sanity and better judgment with it. When you find such a beautiful thing, I've learned that you have to allow it to come back. Searching too hard for something can make you overlook it, and even though it's right in front of you, take the time to slow down and breathe, as hard as it is. Love is a beautiful thing. The one pure emotion that not only can save the most damaged soul, but heal the most broken heart, and the world that crashed before your eyes as if daylight struck and everything became beautiful once more. Being complete is a need every being has. This world is big, and reality is the most damning factor. Some of us live for that love and walk around with a mask to hide the weakness of vulnerability. The soul you connected with has a tendency to run and feel so much uncertainty as the fear of being wrong about that feeling has damaged us all to a point of sickness that makes us put up a fully guarded wall. Give your other souls half time to see the purity and tender in your passion. Communicate your feelings and humble yourself to apologize for your unusual response to that fear. Your other soul feels what you do and just wants you to be secure. We naturally have a trauma response to the walls we put up being breached, as if your heart is being invaded with the pains of the past, when all they're there to do is heal and love the pain away. That's scary for any damaged heart. Time will give them the same craving you once had, and the souls will connect once more, stronger and more secure than any uncertainty was strong. I believe in fairy tales. They were created from the most beautiful, damning reality. Angels walk on this earth. I've seen them with my own two eyes. They've given me that high my soul has longed for so long. Angels are fragile. Handle them with caution, as they've been burned before by the fire of a soul with foul intention. God answers prayers by giving you tools. It's up to you to do the footwork. Nothing good in life comes easy and takes work. He set it in place that way so when the rough has been worked through, both souls see the value and fully appreciate the angel they've been blessed with. Listen to your heart and never fear showing it. You've had those feelings placed on you for a reason. Don't let your damaged mind stop your heart from curing its curiosity. That curiosity is not the same as uncertainty, stained from past scar, yet feels so familiar. Leave an open mind for understanding, as it's all confusing and takes time to process. This is what it means when your soul connects. Take that blessing and cherish it to the fullest. Time will glue the souls, heal the hearts, and give you that high that's everlasting. It's a natural shot of heroin every soul needs that comes at the most unexpected times when you need it the most, even if you don't see it or feel it's timely. The greatest things always blindside us in a time we'd least expect or feel due for. The pressure of the hells in our everyday life leave us terrified of such a powerful thing. Hard to believe something so beautiful and so right can be so confusing and scary, a far cry from how we have been groomed to imagine by our craving and imagination of having it. My writings, I wrote these. This one is called Daddy's Cape. My mom called me one day, and my whole family knows they'll never stop me from riding motorcycles. No, I've never had any kind of substance addiction. And it's just a reality that something I could leave this driveway one day on that motorcycle and something could happen to me. And she told me, she said, Tyler, if something happens to you, what would you want the boys to know? She said, you need to write something for them. And again, I'm going to post all of these. So if you don't see them or get to hear them, they're there. What's the question? If you want to help him, love him in all the ways you never have. This one's called Daddy's Cape. To my boys, I love you. You're growing up so fast it makes me scared to breathe or blink. When I looked into your eyes for the first time, my world changed. I instantly knew that there was no greater honor or pride than being your dad, and I immediately started living my life to be the hero I knew you'd one day grow to see me as. I want you to know everything you are right now is passed honestly to you through the bloodline of your last name. You're a lover and a fighter. You're strong and courageous, you're smart, and you have the ability to accomplish anything you want to in this journey of life. You have heart, live out of it, and love every chance you get, and remember what goes around comes around. If you can help someone, do it. As your dad, I'm going to raise you to be better than me because one day, son, you'll be wearing the cape. You don't know it yet, but your old man is only human, and you boys make me a better man every day. I'll walk to hell and raise Cain with the devil himself to ensure your safety and happiness. I want you boys, no matter what, to know that I love you and that I'll always be right by your side, and that it's okay to be scared. It's okay to cry. It's okay to raise a little hell and have fun as long as you own your consequences, both good and bad. One day when you find a woman, hold her gently and make sure, just with a glance at her, she makes you want to be all you can be. Hold your brother close. There's going to be a time my cape is worn and I can't fly anymore, and I take my last flight home. Y'all are all each other have once it's time to go, though I'll always watch over you. I'll always guide you, and I'm always a call away, just a call away, even if I've taken that last flight. You boys are the fire in my soul, my fight that keeps me going, the reason for my rough hands and sore joints, and my love that never ends. I love being your dad. Those capes sure look good on you. This one's called Alone in a World of Anxiety. And some of these are better than others. I think the worst thing one can go through in this life is the panic and anxiety of being alone. And the worst thing life can do to one like such is bring you the right person at the wrong time. I've been through the darkest this life has to offer, from watching the closest to me die right in front of me to the most torturous personal violation. Nothing compares to watching everything you've ever wanted slip away. The more you try to save it, the more you push it away. It's like hanging on the edge of a cliff for weeks on end. The harder your heart says to fight, to climb up, the weaker the edge you're holding on to gets, breaking off small pieces at a time. The more energy you waste fighting, the more hungry you become to get back to safe ground. You try to stay still and appreciate the time you have left. Grateful for what you do have, but naturally you fight to stay alive, even though your mind tortures you, saying you don't have anything left and that you're just going to fall anyway. Inevitably, your mind is right, but your heart won't accept it. It's literally loving your way to hell. This heart of mine is a curse paired with a mind that never quits. Being alone in it is like a realistic nightmare. There's no escape or waking from the dream. You wish someone could save you from the dark, but you know it's as likely as making it off that cliff. You sit there and listen to the best of you scream, begging to someone watching in the distance to grab your hand and pull you up. But they're trapped in their own battle and can't get away to save you as much as you both wish you could save each other. It's a misery most don't understand. It's a hell I wouldn't wish on the most evil. I guess what they say is true. Anxiety is love's greatest killer. To know what it could be is the hardest part. Knowing with one step back you could have been breathing and living in happiness, but you didn't know the last step would break out from under you. All you can do is pray that by miracle you survived the fall. I love you, Mom. I love you a lot, Mom. I'm going to show that I'm not the person I've been demonized to be too. And this is all pieces of my heart, the purest part of me. This one's called Life of Heart. How do I explain to this life that I can't help what I feel? I can't help that my heart is bigger than my body and my mind turns as constant as a river flows, but never so smooth and peaceful. I spent half my life running and afraid of what should be one of the greatest blessings one could ask for. This being a heart of purity and powerful love. As a man in this world with a heart like mine, with a heart like that, it's easy to be crushed. I can't help that when I love or when I care, I do with every ounce of me, and it sometimes feels so much more like a burden. Why does such a beautiful and passionate thing feel so easy and alone at times? Why is it so hard to deal, and what does it mean? Weakness is not a factor. There's nothing a heart like mine can't accomplish. Strength is never ending, and I know so as many times as it's broken to still love the same again and again. To be touched and wanted by an understanding soul and deserving heart is a happy and high like no drug or substance could ever compete. Even though sometimes I wonder if a competing substance would just take away all the hurt as it ripped out your soul, taking the ability to feel anything at all with it. Numbness is an understatement. I feel the pain of others. I feel the sorrow and wish to be cared for and loved in a way that makes us all whole. Such an amazing thing it is to feel like your chest isn't the only home for your heart. It must be what heaven feels like, and if not, I don't ever want to go. I'd rather live forever in the moment of pure passion. I don't know how to care and love just a little without doing so with every ounce of me. With it comes the clumsiness of trying too hard. The flow feels so much different to me than it does most and moves so much quicker. I feel a lot like I have to soak up every second, afraid it will be gone in an instant as it has before, leaving the greatest parts of me screaming in pain, regret, and wonder why it couldn't have just lasted forever. Most don't realize the same fear they feel being with such a powerful thing is the same fear I live waiting for them to run, knowing most don't understand. I've always said if you want to see the way the world is supposed to be, look at the heart of a child, but what if your heart is always still that child? What if the world doesn't see the greatness in that? It's like walking down an endless road of darkness with no end in sight, and every so often someone gives you a light that gives hope to finding an exit. But then the light goes away and everything is dark once more. The heat becomes cold and the road becomes longer. The value of me will only be valued when darkness isn't seen over the shine of my heart. I'm a one of a kind, and I know this, but I want to show how astonishing that can be. I can never do so until the rough edges and clumsy-footed love-drunk moves are looked past and the discomfort of unsure of me becomes the purity of someone that means it when they say they're not going anywhere. What I'd give to show that. This endless cycle is both beautiful and burdensome. This life, I feel, will never understand the beauty of what was created when it made me. I just want to be home and whole. This one gets deep. This one's called Simply the Darkest. Through my life, I know I've made mistakes. I never thought I'd ever made one to receive such bad karma as what I live. Most would look at my life and ask themselves how I have bad karma. I've got a nice house, decent vehicles, motorcycles, toys, a great mom, and 2 beautiful kids that love me dearly. They don't see that I can't help who I am, though. I can't help that what would make all of these things so much brighter is missing from the man I am. They don't see that I've been through some of the truly darkest things this life has to offer. Yes, some I brought on myself, but I've always felt something missing. I spent my life running from it. The emptiness, the crave to be me, and the judgment at one time I thought would follow, and the fight to heal my pain and empty, with more being thrown on top before I could ever even put my finger on what it was. I'm older now. I've sorted through those demons, or so I thought. I thought that being successful and learning to be me without it would be the answer to finding it and having it. I was wrong. I never realized that one thing missing is what stands in the way of being me, the real me. Now life is nothing more than hell with a beautiful cover. The inside is still dark and cold. I sometimes feel like hell would be better. At least there would be warmth and light from the fire. No matter what, though, every day I get up and I smile at some point through the day, even if I have to force it. I keep doing my best to fight for more success, even though I feel so moot. The motivation is gone, but I keep pushing and praying. I do my best to treat people with respect and decency. I'm empathetic and understand different things affect people differently, and what kills me may not be anything to one, and what kills one may not be anything to me. I keep on trying to love even though I've had my heart broken a million times. Yet for some reason, I still love just as hard or harder than I did before. I pick myself back up again. All I really want is to love and be me and have someone to give it to that truly wants it. I don't expect everything I give back, just the basics. I don't know why. It's just who I am. I just want someone to see me and value me enough to never want to let me go and to keep me close. Love me and grow with me and let me love them with all I've got. I love like no other, no matter how many times I break or get broken or give and don't receive. I keep on loving the same, and I get joy out of others' happiness, even though most don't deserve it, which is why I'm very picky with who I give it to. I sometimes pray that my heart would just turn cold as the darkness feels so, as the darkness feels so cold, maybe I could enjoy what I've earned and just be happy. I fall down and become happy alone for a while and totally content. Then I love again and hurt again. Every time I feel no one can hurt me as bad as before, I'm shown otherwise. Unfortunately, nothing I've ever been through hurts as bad as this demon I carry. I'm used to the pain, yet it hurts worse than the darkest things. Or maybe it is simply the darkest. I envy the being that can shut down their heart and be so hurt they save themselves from simply the darkest. This one's called Heaven and Ecstasy. I want to fill you up and never let you go hungry for love and appreciation again. Make you feel like you hung the moon just the way I see you did looking at you through my eyes. I want to be everything your heart has ever craved, even if I have to change everything I do. Your smile is worth it. There's no such thing as sacrificing a heart with nothing but desire to fulfill the deepest cravings of the one you crave most. With this, I'm nothing but happy if I can be the smile you are for me. A smile like the deepest scars I carry around are nothing more than a scratch I never felt, and nothing less than a steroid of passion to overcome the impossible. I see the beauty inside of you that's like staring at a Carolina golden hour sky from the Charleston shore. Cotton candy sweet and breathtaking as you could only imagine what the outskirts of heaven might look like. The feeling is natural ecstasy, something out of a God-sent fairy tale and an incredible reality right in front of my own two eyes. I can't move and I don't want to. Right here is where I want to be. Nothing could be better. If I'm dreaming, please don't wake me up and send me back to hell from the peace of heaven I have right here with you on earth. I have with you right here on earth. God spent extra time on every detail of your creation. Once dead inside, I feel so alive and want to make you feel the passion that I do, that you deserve to feel the power of, crippling me in the most astonishing way, taking my ability to be anything less than everything you could ever ask for at your wish and giving me the strength to make it possible. I want to be your place to rest and take the beating of your toughest times so that you don't have to. Give me your scars that no one sees. You've already taken and healed all of mine. I'll take them and let them burn. I'll take them and let the burn fuel the fire in my soul, empowering the passion to be your everything. Living in heaven has never seemed so sweet. Scars from hell have never been so obsolete. I want to be your ecstasy. I was 27 or 28 when I started writing. I'm going to post all of these to my page. That one was called Heaven and Ecstasy. I'll let y'all figure out who this one was about. And the last one. She's got blue eyes that'll stop your heart and a smile that'll melt it. skin soft and smooth as a sheet of fresh silk, and a kiss that will set your world ablaze. Her voice is more soothing than a perfect tune, and her shine has been stolen, but she's still bright as the sun, never losing her beauty. She never complains, and her strength she doesn't see. The hell she's been through is ugly and lonesome, scarred by the misery of the ungrateful, yet still selfless and tending to the needs of her children, and still kind to the world around her. She's tender, yet full of passion to love without regret, craving appreciation and care she was never able to have fulfilled for her. She's more valuable than she's ever been shown. Her qualities are endless as a river runs, always flowing with no end in sight. If there's one wish I had, I'd just make her smile. Just that one sight is worth more than 1,000,000 hours of excitement somewhere else. There's no limit to her beauty. The more I get of her, the higher I get. She's one of a kind, and every piece of her is a little bit of heaven on earth. My chest beats like a hammer when she's around, skipping with her every glance. It takes my breath away and makes me weak, yet fills me with the oxygen to last a lifetime and strength to conquer the impossible. God give her my soul, so I can have her misfortune, tear it up into pieces, and turn it to happiness. She deserves way more than words can say. I'd give anything to take her pain and polish her with affection and tender care. Build her to her strongest and shine her to her brightest, as if there was never a scuff or scar. A woman like that only comes once. Treat her like gold and never stop, never slow down. Love her like no one else can. You've got more than the world in your hands. Yeah, I wrote that one for her. This one is for anybody with anxiety. If you've ever had anxiety, if you have anxiety, this one is for you. Yeah, well, I'm just a piece of shit, you know. I never do anything right. I'm an awful, abusive fucking person. Remember? I'm so angry and just so mean. Anyway, this one's called Only Temporary. For the people in the world of anxiety, you're not alone. The life I live is both beautiful and heavy. Most of the time I live out of heart and happiness. I get joy out of I get joy out of others' happiness, and I feel comfort in the sanctuary of the life I've built. A lot of us with anxiety sometimes get it double. Generally, we understand more as we are overthinkers and break everything down and analyze. We also tend to be more understanding and empathetic to others, and as well, feel their pain, so to speak. The saying money doesn't make you happy is true. There's still some mornings I'll wake up and feel worried for no reason, or feel like I'm rushing as if I'm late for the most important thing in my life. I've realized that I've carried a lot of weight wasting time on people who didn't deserve my time. We have to cut this toxicity out and change our perspective from which we analyze. Caring for someone and caring about someone are separate things. When people care about you, they will buy you a gift to make you feel better. When someone cares for you, they give you their time. That's one of the most powerful things one could grasp. It's also one of the most valuable and priceless lessons, and it's an incredible feeling. A lot of us run through this world and forget to focus on the things that really count and spend time where it's worthy. We get wrapped up, and we don't realize the weight we carry because someone cares about us. When someone cares for you and chooses to spend their time and shows their willingness for you, that's priceless. Treat those people like they hung the moon. They genuinely want you to feel better. They gave you something priceless they can't get back. Those of us with anxiety should understand the true beauty in that, as we understand more than most how short life is and how little time we have to shove as much of our happiness into it as we can. The ones that care about you are broke. The ones that care for you are rich. My mom always said, if you surround yourself with successful, you'll become successful. If you surround yourself with slum, that's what you'll become. The same is true with who cares about us and who cares for us. In all, I'm a lucky man, and I'm also rich in happiness. Our down days are only temporary. Ain't nobody screen recording this and making it go viral, though, you know? It's because only the whole world will stop to watch a train wreck. God's fine art. That's what this one's called. What, one of my writings? Oh, somebody screen recorded that shit of the Kindle, put it on the Kindle page. Whatever. This one's called God's Fine Art. There was a time my home was the comfort of being in a small town where I grew up. No particular house, just the area was my own sanctuary and little piece of heaven on earth. I could go through town and know almost everyone I passed. I knew every back road, the history, the way of life in every inch of the wooded land and every fishing spot that surrounded for at least 100 miles. Growing up there, I didn't realize how blessed I truly was to be one of the many chosen to be so showered in the beauty of a small country town. I'd never known any different. I used to walk out to the Erie River under the old 49 bridge and pick a direction of the river and follow, and I'd walk as far as I could until I knew I'd stay longer than I wanted to due to the trip's distance. I'd sit down and watch the sun go down, and I'd melt into the side of that cotton candy Carolina sky, and I'd become in sync with the perfect harmony of hearing the water trickle and sometimes rush over the rocks and against the red clay river banks. The crickets and bullfrogs would sing, the light would become dark, and I'd find myself sitting in heaven as I'd imagine it to be. The art of God himself was beneath my feet and sewn into my surrounding. Over time, that small town where I met God himself out there on those Carolina river banks and rolling hills of trees started to diminish. Foreigners came through and started breaching and molesting that beautiful land with factories, industrial parks, businesses, and living quarters on every corner where there was once a cattle pasture or field of dandelions and daisies. The smell of factory smoke took over, and the purity of air became non-existent and corrupted the refreshing smell of Carolina jasmine, and they started shutting down our favorite hangouts. Pretty soon after, that little middle of nowhere town became a concrete jungle, and the sacred pieces of Mother Nature became shattered and ruined in the greed and evil of the almighty dollar. There's many that hate their small town and take it for granted because they're blind to the blessing before their eyes. Appreciate it now. For me, I can't go home because it's simply not there anymore, and soon there will be no such thing left across the maps. Even though it's no longer there, I see it in my dreams, and my heart will always roam those heaven-made Carolina riverbanks and rest under the sunset of God's fine art. Until my time, I'll be missing you, sweet Carolina.
Dad, why are you all dressed up?
No.
I'm ready to go swimming and fishing.
We about to. We got to go to Orange Park and get the lift. And then we're going to come back here and drop it off and go do that. Okay? You need to go take a shower, and your brother does too.
Why? We're going swimming.
Huh?
Why? We're just going swimming.
You need to go take a shower and everything, because we're still going to go eat and everything, too.
Oh. Give me something. I'm hungry.
Well, I appreciate that, because I've been crying most of the morning.
For what reason?
Just going through it, son, that's all. This one is called No Poison to Kill Me.
You missed it?
I'm just reading my writings, buddy.
I was just wondering.
I'm reading my writings, Amanda. This one's probably not as good as the last ones y'all have heard, but I think it's all right. As I sit here on this porch in this old rocking chair, sipping my coffee and breathing in my nicotine fix, I feel the peace and comfort like I've been touched by the hands of grace itself. Birds chirping, that Florida golden sun breaking ground and shining through the trees, pure silence sounds like a perfect harmony. Sometimes I ponder on the journeys of life that brought me here and how at one time I never thought I'd experience such an incredible blessing. There was a time I was trapped like a songbird in a small dark cage with the sounds of hell drowning out the peaceful songs of me. I realize now that if I'd never experienced such discomfort, I'd not have appreciated the true worth of what I've got now. Wisdom is something I'd have never known. Harmony would be non-existent and peace would still just be an old fairy tale. Through all these journeys I've gone through, from being the main contribution to the hell I was living, to living hell I didn't ask for, the one thing I'll never regret is my mistakes. They made me who I am. They groomed me into a soldier in this battlefield of the lost and confused, guiding me an unknown army to the same sanctuary of the life I've built.
Dad, have you read?
It's easily overlooked. I've learned that sometimes we get trapped in the pressure and pain and can't stop to value the blessings we have. And I now know that without that nothing would have so much meaning or value at all.
Dad, is this old?
Yes. In those times, I'd have never guessed that the struggles I was going through just meant that there were greater things to come, and that life was grooming me to accept the better parts and leading me to find a true inner happiness. I'm stronger now than I've ever been, happier than I'd have ever guessed, and yet the hard times are still not over yet. They've only just begun. That would scare the average soul, make them cringe with sickness in the pit of their gut. It excites me. It strikes a nerve of curiosity inside my heart, mind, and soul of how much better can it really get. This will never be known until I get there. This life is mine. This time I will accomplish even more power and comfort. I'll see the messages I missed before, and I'll succeed to the fullest. Perspective is a journey one must ponder and cherish. Whether broke or broken, rich or whole, I'll never live without pain. That's a beautiful thing that I'm thankful for, as even if I lost it all, I'll never be dead broke again, and I'll always be rich in mind, spirit, heart, and soul, growing like a weed with no poison to kill me.
I'm making fried bologna, Dad.
Get it, buddy. This one's called Lady Perfection.
Dad, I got a question though.
What's up, baby?
Have you read Daddy's Cape yet?
Yes, sir, I did read Daddy's Cape. You like that one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This one's called Lady Perfection. You can guess who this one was about, too.
Oh, I know.
Damaged and scarred by the blind and ungrateful, she's running strong. She's tired, but she'll never quit. Bars on her heart, she placed to mask the pain and protect the greatest parts of her that fools of the past tried to take and take for granted. Every day she wakes up and swallows the horse pills of the undeserving that robbed her of the pure love she tried to give, and just like a spoiled child, that incredible purity was never enough. Emotional and mental torture is what she received in return for being human and full of heart. Just trying to love her way to the love she deserves. 2 kids, a margarita, and a fighting soul. She keeps going like a freight train on an uphill travel. She's beautiful even in her weakest moments. With her hair in a mess and a vape for the stress, smart as a whip and determined, she smiles in the darkest times, never showing her struggle, as if she's never seen the foul side of a conniving soul. Her smile is a breath of fresh air that shows the beauty behind the bars on her heart, and her eyes are a soothing song, telling a story of passion and pain, pretty as can be, yet showing the craving of tender love. She's a perfect imperfection, wondering if she'll ever be truly loved by a matching heart, deserving of the beauty of her unique and making her dreams a reality. Lady Perfection, just hold tight. I promise everything is going to be all right. Give me your pain, let me carry the weight. I'll make it my mission to set your love straight. A woman like you is a priceless blessing. Once in a lifetime, I'll never leave you guessing. Don't ever forget you're not alone. As long as you'll let me, my love is your home. No one can hurt you here, I won't accept it. And anyone who tries will surely regret it. Lady Perfection, just hold tight. I know you're scared, but everything's going to be all right. No one can see. Ever since I was a kid, I've been the outcast, oddball, misunderstood, and had a lot of love to give. I remember being in kindergarten. My teacher, Miss Pridgeon, was always so good to me, and every Monday when I came to school, I told her that I missed her. She saw me for what I was, even as a child. I felt that. My childhood wasn't bad looking from the outside, or looking from the outside. We had a decent house and cars, most of the things we wanted, and our mama was loving as could be and had our safety at best interest. It was a hellhole on the inside. My dad drank and became belligerent, irate, and just mean. I remember being scared a lot as a kid. The kids in the neighborhood used to jump me. The older kids would make us fight even if we didn't want to, and if we tried to run, they'd catch up and beat us up themselves. At the time, I didn't know that those weren't friends. They were only other kids around. They were the only other kids around, and telling parents would only be a shrug of the shoulders. We were just being boys. I was a happy kid with a lot of heart and passion for outdoor activities like baseball, dirt bikes, and swimming. All I really wanted was to be accepted and fit in, so to speak. I was different. I remember feeling everything deep from a young age, maybe 5 or 6. My whole life, minus my mom, people I trusted threw me under the bus. People I cared for hurt me, and people I loved either put me down or walked away like they didn't care about me at all. It caused a lot of problems as a young kid. I was hyperactive. I lashed out and didn't know why at the time. I realize now that I was only happy because I didn't know anything different, and the guidance I did have wasn't exactly aware. The problems I had lashing out were from the hurt I was happy about. As I got older and started to understand more, I realized that I was miserable, but still at a really young age. Hold on, I lost my place here. I was miserable, but still at a really young age. They started putting me on medication, saying that I had bipolar, that it was a chemical imbalance in my brain, and from that point, everything I ever felt was due to the medicines, to everybody else. Every new problem, they'd give me a new pill as if it was the answer. I never had a voice and had no choice but to keep it all in. Even at an age so young, I didn't know I was doing it. I was also convinced that there was something wrong with me, but no one ever stopped to think what really may be going wrong, and that maybe I carried a lot of emotional and mental pain no one could see from the outside. As I grew to a teenager, I stood up for myself. I'd fight, and eventually that all led to constant fights just because I refused to take more pain than I'd already received from people who simply had no compassion and got a kick out of putting someone else down to make themselves look good or to have that attention for themselves. The fighting was nothing to me. The busted lips, black eyes, bloody noses were almost an escape from what I felt inside, as it'd take my mind off the internal pain temporarily. What hurt the most is that I just wanted love and truly be happy. And now I was labeled bad and a troublemaker. And I never wanted to hurt anyone. And in fact, get joy out of others' happiness and love to help people. It took a long time of toxic relationships with friends and family and a lot of hard times to realize what was wrong with me wasn't an illness or a chemical imbalance, but it was a mental and emotional prison that threw my heart into a cage to be trapped. Once I became an adult and a father of my own, I had to let it out of that cage. And I've got 2 beautiful kids I love with all of my heart, but yet there's still a hole. I've seen what it's like to accomplish and have everything I want, but yet it still feels like there's a hole. Sometimes I catch myself falling into old patterns because I don't think anyone can handle what it feels like to never feel in place or at home, and to take an emotional and mental beating on a consistent basis when all you want to do is love and be considered. Next time you think your life may be hard, just remember there's people in this world that think about, I can't say that word, daily themselves. People that smile and try hard, get misunderstood, and some of them seemingly have everything that most would dream to have, yet you have no idea just how dark their own reality really is. I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of physical pain. I'm afraid for my kids to need me the way I needed someone. No one can see from the outside what it feels like to be inside, or what it might look like never going inside. I'm 29. And I've aged fast from stress. I keep pushing to build better, but I just break sometimes. I'm lost in this world. No one can see me from the outside. Love is my home. That's where I feel full, and the emptiness is gone. Maybe that's why I never feel home. I can't find my home. My heart keeps running and my soul keeps searching, but the craving never ceases to break and move. This is the ballad of a lost heart. No one can see it from the outside. Appreciate the little things you have. Remember that when you think life is hard, if you've got someone to love, there's people literally dying for that and living their whole lives in darkness without it. You'll never see from the outside, especially on a sunny day. Yeah, all of these are my writings. I don't know if I read Ironic Regret. I haven't. This one's called Ironic Regret. I've got more inside of me than probably anyone you'll ever meet, and I don't know why, because this life has done everything it can to break me and turn my heart cold. Yet no matter what, the more I go through, the more I love, the more love and passion I have in my heart there is to burn like hot coals on tender skin, dying to bust out of me. There's been so many nights I've laid in bed, awake, staring at the ceiling and shadows on the walls, talking to God, asking if I'll ever find someone to see the passion for what it is and want to claim it, knowing it's pure as it comes. Sometimes I wish I just never felt anything at all, convinced this is what it's like to live in hell. What does this mean? Why was I made this way, built so unparalleled to the laws of attraction? Why am I so different? I've felt love. I've felt pure and happy, like nothing could ever bring me down, and it was such a powerful feeling, filled with motivation and strength to be able to do literally anything with ease. Feeling something like that has never been so relieving. I've learned that it's truly a love drunk. As my vision was blurred, not seeing the things that counted the most and trying harder to give the things that were meaningless. How stupid I was. It brought me to such a haunting crash that I'm unsure if I'll ever shake the sinking feeling of regret, even if it were to come back to me. It's a lesson I'll never forget, that maybe I needed to be able to give what I've got the way it was meant to be given. It's ironic how so much passion and purity as such a beautiful thing can cause myself just as much damage as I received to have it in an instant. I pray forgiveness finds me and gives back the power of that happiness. It was never supposed to happen this way. It never will again. That's the most fearful part. You too. This one's short. It's called She's Like the Weather. When she's down, it's like the sun shining in the pouring rain. So bright you just want to enjoy it, but there's nothing you can do about the rain, so you just sit idle on the porch swing, waiting for the rain to quit, because you know that when she's happy, she's like the sun shining on a perfect day. When she's mad, she's like a hurricane. It'll pass and everything will be bright again, but until it does, you fear what damage can be done. She's like the weather. She changes for various reasons, but clearly made by God and just the way she should be. This one's called My Carolina. It's been a happy day in the Sunshine State. The feelings inside of me feel like a perfect harmony. As I sit in this truck, my mind goes on about her. Through the background of a perfect country song and the shadows of my heart, she shines through like that Carolina sun in an early morning cloudless sky. My mind goes on about her, how every move is just as it should be, and every smile is just as pretty as a full moon is bright. Her voice is like medicine in my soul, soothing like the sounds of the Tiger River trickling over those rocks alongside of those old Carolina river banks. This must be what heaven feels like, and if it doesn't, then make me immortal and keep me wrapped in her arms and touch, never missing a thing. There's nothing like the touch of a strong mind and genuine heart. It's a blessing and a filling to the cracks in a past that hurt me, and she makes those scars feel so non-existent. She's got a wild side slammed full of charisma that's been silenced for too long, as if her feelings never had voice, and dying to be set free from the chains of the selfish and ungrateful. I'm here to set her free and let her beauty shine, as I see right through the damage, and I value her true worth. Her unique sure looks good on her, just like the cotton candy sky would on Charleston shoreline at golden hour. She's a place that comforts me like a silent Carolina night, and I can lay my heart here and never have to worry on the empty feeling of doubt. Every action is a confirmation of her certainty, and it feels just like home. I've always said my heart is Carolina. Maybe that's why she feels just like it. This happy Florida day turned into a perfect Carolina night. Her pretty face is what I'll see when I close my eyes tonight, and I'll sleep looking to the eyes of a Carolina sunset. She's my Carolina dream. She's my Carolina. God's country. This big city creates discomfort for a man like me. Nothing like it is in God's country, where the burden of an endless commotion and the smell of factory-filled air can't corrupt that refreshing smell of Carolina jasmine or the peace of a silent night. Bullfrogs and crickets sing perfectly in sync with the sounds of that salute of water trickling alongside of those clay river banks. Bright city lights can't blind me, and I can float away into a sea of stars painted like glitter in a moonlit sky. It has a perfect harmony that soothes like God's grace. My heart lays out on those river banks, with the sizzling touch of a summer-cooled breeze on sun-kissed skin and breathtaking by Carolina golden hour and cotton candy sky. Completely unmolested by mankind and just the way God left it. When it's my time, you can find me out there. My soul will always carry in the heavens of God's country. Heart of appreciation. What does it mean to be appreciated? So many times in life I've wondered what that must feel like. How fortunate, whole, loved, and happy that must feel. Time and time again I've given the better parts of me to the world or to a specific individual, hoping to find that feeling that makes the lack of such comfort go away. For those of us that live straight from the heart, we get joy out of others' happiness, and we empathize for people we're drawn to. At least we think we do. At this point, though, I believe that we're just being empathetic for ourselves. We want that in return so badly, we put it out and overlook the reality that the one receiving most times doesn't much appreciate it at all, and rather take you for granted, never returning, never taking value in the heart we show. We eventually see that we don't share with someone who isn't putting forth the same effort, even though we do it out of difference in attraction and appreciation. Someone could be attracted to you, and it seemed very similar to appreciation. But what does it mean to truly be appreciated? As they say, proof is in the pudding. When someone is attracted to you, they speak words of physique and materialistics. When someone appreciates you, they speak words of heart and purity, putting forth effort and time. They think of you randomly and genuinely care for your happiness, showing you what you mean to them. Appreciation is far more rare than the word is spoken. It's a validation of our heartfelt efforts not going to waste. Appreciating someone who doesn't appreciate us is taking pieces of your heart and throwing them away like throwing diamonds into a pile of rock. There it is, shining so bright yet so easily overlooked, and so it sits wasting away its beauty around the weight of the worthless and dull. But that diamond with the pile of diamonds, put that diamond with a pile of diamonds, and it will never go unseen. Its value will only be greater paired with matching shine and worth. When someone appreciates you, your heart is easily seen. Appreciation is an action of true heart. I now see the difference, how fortunate, happy, and wholesome this feels. Darkness and the devil in disguise. Have you ever felt your soul slip into a black darkness? Watching yourself like an out-of-body experience scream in agony and hatred as the staining memories from your past move you like a demolition machine. Your pain slips through the cracks of your physical being verbally and through the life in your eyes, destroying everything in its path. Snowballing your pain the more you try to stop it. You call for help desperately at the top of your lungs, and it sounds like, "Stay away from me. I hate you." So no one comes. The people you care about the most start to think you like being there and start to alienate you for the way your cry for help sounds as you desperately need them to hug you with an open heart. But if they keep walking further away, creating more pain because you cried for help, and they walked away not knowing "stay away, I hate you" only sounded that way. It's like hanging onto a cliff. The more you fight to save yourself, the closer you come to the inevitable death plunging below as your grip on the edge slips away. Your mind is racing, your heart is aching, and your body lies telling everyone you're doing fine. Lonesome sets in, that S word of becomes the emergency switch to shut it off, and yet you can't pull the handle. You're trapped and try not to lose hope. Then hope becomes doubt, and doubt becomes more darkness. Eventually, you're in a constant cycle of trying to save yourself, but only putting yourself closer to the Grim Reaper, waiting for you to call his name and follow him to the depths of hell each and every time. Time is the damning factor. The more that passes, the more Grim Reaper looks like a friend, and the easier it is to trust the devil himself. Have you ever seen light in the devil's eyes? The kind that makes you feel the only way out is to handle it the way your cries for help sounds. Not everyone knows darkness, but I do, and it looks just like me, with a nice smile and a beautiful cover, just like the devil in disguise. Perfectly imperfect. She's not perfect. She's got walls of guard a mile high and 2 miles thick. She has days where she just wants to lay around and enjoy the peace of doing nothing at all. She has a tough time expressing her feelings and emotions. She's easily frustrated with ignorance around her and sometimes simple things most would call silly to be bothered by. She buries her pain and frustration with silence and has a hard time letting go of hurt. But it's not her fault, and you'd never know she felt it. She smiles every day, maintaining her incredible personality, moving forward, never showing a sign that she felt anything at all. Could you imagine being a hard, loving heart and sweet soul, giving someone and something your all, and all of you, for the true beauty of what you're giving and have to offer go unseen, taken for granted, underappreciated, and undervalued? What a shame it is to see someone so beautiful have to feel such a waste of the best of her, and what a burden it must be to carry the weight. She didn't ask for that. She only tried her best to be everything she could and love with all she's got. There's a phenomenon inside of her, one like I've never seen and no one else deserves. She's got a smile as bright as the sun, eyes like a clear view of the summer stars, and the physique of a goddess. She makes the weak burn with guilt, shame, and jealousy, and she's strong as a universal queen. They try to take her down, but the fools can't. Hold on. They try to take her down, but the fools can't see that they won't stop, that they don't faze her shine a bit and only point out their own ignorance and weakness. She's a nurturer like no other. Love and kindness, warm as a sauna, and her touch with it can... The fuck? And her touch with it can stop the world in the most dangerous place, making it a peaceful place of heaven on earth, and it shows in her kids without question. I guess a phenomenon is an understatement. A blessing doesn't serve her true beauty justice, and a gift to life would only steal from her value. No, she's not perfect, but she's closer than anyone else ever could be. She's the walking definition of perfectly imperfect. And that's just perfect, if you ask me. Not all of them. I wrote all of these, yeah. Yeah, I wrote all of those. I will post them all one by one later. I am. They're eating and getting ready. I got to go get my lift, and then we're going to do something. Actually, it's probably fishing. Thank you. Tell that to the people calling me a piece of shit. A lot of men out there who have heart like that. They just can't voice it. You get off here for a little while.